Hello, good morning, and thank you for taking the time to attend our webinar presentation this morning. My name is Justin Ford. I am a Annuity Business Development Director here at IAMS, Annuity Sales Director. As many of you may know, I've worked on the life and long-term care side as well as asset-based care solutions. And today we've got an exciting partner with us joining us from Ibexis with some really actionable tools that are pertinent right now, and I'm excited to have Megan on the line with us. We'll be speaking here in a moment. Before we go into it, as normal, we've got a diverse group of individuals listening with us here. Some of you may be looking at IAMS for the first time. Appreciate the airtime there, the space of giving us your attention. Some of you in the room may have already been in the process of joining us or may have just joined, as well as existing agents that have been in advocates with IAMS that may be on the call too. So we're going to cover a little bit of both. For those of you that have just joined us and maybe have just started with us, we have what we call a producer new business builder program. Essentially, when you join IAMS during your first 180 days with us, it's a very important time with anybody, as you know, bringing new clients on. It's important for us at IAMS to make sure that we're honoring the commitments and promises that we have out there that backs up our service guarantee. And it's important to you as an agent and advisor to know you're working with an organization that can best pair up with you. So during that first 180 days, typically all those things come together. So we want to incentivize you on top of that to write your first piece of business when you first join us during those 180 days. And so what I've got on the screen here is different levels that you can hit with production. And as an example, right in the middle of the screen, during your first 180 days, if you put in annuity production of $750,000, this would open up some additional stuff for you. One of which is we would cover a retirement boss, retirement radio, set up 8 recorded shows. Another option would be 2 Social Security seminars, guaranteed 50 buying units of those, or a lead credit for 4,500 leads, digital annuity leads, or help partner with you financially on something that's already bringing the sales to you to get to the 750 level with us during those first 180 days. When it comes to life and long-term or life and annuity production, target premium also counts. About a tenth of target, so 75,000 in target premium at that level, and then single premium life pays at a stepped-up rate of 1.5. So if you haven't already, let your primary contact at IAMS know that you're interested in the new producer builder program. Definitely do so, and we'll be sending out to you the production levels on that as well. If you have just joined us, you may be familiar, or if you've been working with us for a while, we also have a referred producer program. And the way this works is much like your business, we build ours based off of referrals of individuals that work best with us as well. And so the way that we do that is we have a couple different ways to get paid. The first, there's a $50 cash bonus when the referred agent contracts with us. So my team will take care of all the licensing, as an example, with Ibexis on today's call. And you get a $50 cash bonus. And then on top of that, we're going to pay you basis points on that individual's production out of our pocket, not theirs. So they'll get their commission, won't be tied to you in a hierarchy, but you'll get paid the numbers you see on the screen there, 0.20% on their indexed annuity production and on up. So if you do have someone, we appreciate the referral, bring that name to us, and we'll make sure we get them set up in the system so you begin to get paid. And if you are doing business with us, and after your 180 days, we have a general, what we call marketing reimbursement account. So we're going to put $100 into an account every time you have $100,000 in premium for indexed annuities, $200 in that account for every time you have $100,000 in single premium life, and also for $10,000 in target premium, or every $10,000, we'll put $200 in that account. These numbers continue to build. They don't go away. We don't recycle the account after a year, and you can use this account for reimbursement for anything related to getting you in front of people to see and helping your practice. So ask about that program. If you do have any additional questions, we'll get you some information out on the levels as well. Our back office support, when you do work with us here, we pride ourselves on our service. Many of you who have joined us on the call here have joined us for this reason. And so it is an important and beneficial team. We do work on everything from business tools, business building tools, resources. We'll talk about those here in a moment. Case design assistance, if you've worked with us, and we're going to be covering account replacements and updates today, so that's timely. Forms at your fingertips. We can get you the form that you need for both in-force all the way through new applications, essentially submission to commission support, and annuity and life insurance quotes as well. Top consultative sales expertise and coaching. So whether it's a case we're working on where we need an advanced attorney or tax advice, the marketers, myself, have access to that here at IMES as well if we need to bring somebody in from some coaching standpoints as it relates to taxes, estate planning, or just product design we can assist with, as well as contracting and making sure that you're appointed and your product training is up to date and compliant to sell the product you're selling. We use a paperless system here at IMES called Assurance Bay, and you can license with carriers right from our website or by requesting it from us. On our website, 24 hours a day, you can always call us, as I mentioned before, to get the forms. We have what we call our 2-ring guarantee. When you call IMES, you're going to get a live person every time, being able to assist, whether you're calling in for a form, maybe you're calling your primary contact and I'm on the other line. You may be able to get that, you'll get that form from the live person that you call in. So everything we do is around you, making sure that we have people answering the phone just to be able to assist. But sometimes you want to be able to do this after hours. And until Steve allows me to work 24 hours a day, you can go to our website and find these excellent sales tools, term quotes, forms online, even in-service forms or forms like a withdrawal form, industry links, current annuity news. We utilize Annuity Rate Watch, as you may know, for annuity quotes and income rider quotes, as well as we have our grid out there for long-term care and asset-based care. So if you have any questions on the website, there is a webinar in our YouTube page that I know Beth Rickliff did going through the website, and several others have as well. We can send that your way. If you haven't registered, it's easy to do. If you're licensed with us, you can go out to imesinc.com and register for the site, get right in. From the website, you can also take applications. So you can take a term quote from a quote to an application within less than 10 minutes right from the site. In addition to that, we have several other e-application solutions. The primary in our industry seems to be iPipeline, which is IGO, which you'll use for your life insurance applications. And then when it comes to annuities, most of the carriers partner with Firelight to do that business. We also have access to Sunfire, and these are growing online e-application programs that we use, and new carriers are coming on board all the time if they don't have their own. You can take those applications right from our website and essentially get your business paid quicker without any not in good order or NIGOs, reduce the amount of paperwork headaches you have or your staff have. Creative marketing solutions, when it comes to making sure that the community knows you for who you are and all you can do, which I'd say that again in the effort of time. I will say this: each producer I talk to over my last 23 years has major value in their community. And I know that from working with them directly, but oftentimes as an independent, we're so busy helping our community and helping our individual clients that we may not be doing the best job at putting ourselves out there and letting people know, hey, this is what we do. This is how we help other than referrals. So at IMES, we have an internal staff. They're on our payroll, which means they're not consultants. They know our industry. And essentially, it's an in-house advertising agency we call Creative Marketing Solutions. That's everything from turnkey solutions like handouts, professionally written documents and letters, announcement letters, awareness letters, postcards, flyers, all ready to print with your agency information consistently approved on them. Agency solutions like logo design, business cards, stationery, all the way up to the most simplest form of brochure that you could think of, to digital marketing solutions. One of the things that we pride ourselves on our creative solutions team here is working on things like your personal website, how to enhance social media beyond just search engine optimization. We can even do geofencing, where we can identify a particular company using the state's warn notification that they're going to be laying individuals off. I've had producers that have said, there's a huge opportunity with XYZ company in my area letting go so many employees. And we want to make sure that we're out there saying, with those changes and the decisions you have to make as you change plans, we're offering a free consultation. And what we can do is fence digitally around that office building in different areas in the community where those individual employees navigate their social media, and online they begin to see ads directed towards you or that advisor that we've focused those on to capture the attention of that audience. So we can get as detailed or as simple as a business card on our creative solutions team. If you haven't had our solutions team or your primary consultant do a marketing analysis with you, I'd urge you to take a look at that. We'll do a complete review of your current situation with your marketing and how you get your name out, and also offer recommendations on a second call as to other ways to enhance based on your goals, what you're looking to accomplish. One of those goals may be working with a client's complete wealth management system, their complete portfolio. And if that is the case, if you're already an investment advisory rep, or maybe you're an RIA that would like to be underneath a registered investment advisory to get away from the complexes of compliance, we can help. So whether you're wanting to get your Series 65 and become a wealth manager, we can help with everything from the materials to crack open that first book all the way through assisting with onboarding and helping you navigate through that using our corporate RIA, IAMS Wealth Management. We do have resources here now currently where you can also reach out to us if you're working on a case where the client has other wealth management systems in place. Maybe they just don't have a primary contact. They fall underneath the radar with how many millions they need to have. And our team can help you shine where you will on the indexed annuity and life and long-term care side, the protection side of their portfolio. And IAMS Wealth can handle the other side for those that also want a strong relationship but may not want to go that way themselves as far as taking over wealth management, but they want to make sure that we don't have competitors in the door with them other than you in wealth management. So we can help with there as well. If you have an interest in our RIA, just reach out, let us know. We'd be happy to help. So we have brought back our 2-day training courses. If you're interested in attending one of those, we're going to be probably looking at first quarter of next year, building a list of people who would be interested in our 2-day training events. Just let us know. We're in the middle of our qualification period right now for the Seaside Sanctuary trip. And if you have any questions on qualifications, let us know. This should be an awesome event. We do an 18-month qualification from July of 22 through the end of this year, December 31st. And it looks about $4.5 million in annuity production will get you there over that 18 months, and target premium of $450,000 or a mix thereof. So if you'd like to get your ranking or have any questions, let us know. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn. With that being said, I am going to, at this point, introduce our primary speaker today. And Megan, here I'll let you give a little of your background, but really appreciate your time joining us today and the value you've added here to our team, and looking forward to even more partnership to help our producers and what you have to offer there with Ibexis and joining the team. So Megan, if you can hear us here, as I switch over the screen, I'm going to go ahead and let you do your introduction here. Appreciate your time. There we go. Okay, Megan, are you on with us here? Back on track. I appreciate it, Megan. I'll let you continue. Go right ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, and thanks for everybody for sticking in there with us. Okay, so today we're going to talk about finding opportunities for you and your clients. So when we talk about finding opportunities, these are mutual beneficial scenarios that help your client get what they need, get their needs and goals met, as well as beneficial for you as well. So number one, where do you find additional opportunities? You can actually look to your book of business right now. This problem, it's enforced policy management, mining what is in front of you today. Now, it seems like it's something that would just be, first front of mind, right? Without even thinking about, this is something we should be doing. But the reality is we don't do it. We don't concentrate on it. We don't devote the time to it. And I'm going to tell you why in the next slide. Another place where we can get additional opportunities is through the annual reviews. Now, we are like everybody else. We become complacent. And sometimes we do not ask. We don't ask for the sale. We don't ask if there is anything out there that we don't have eyes on that isn't under our umbrella. So just being very thoughtful about, is there anything that I should know about that we're not talking about today? In order for me to make a really good holistic plan for you and a roadmap for your future, I want to make sure that we're talking about all of the contracts that you have. It does seem like there's clients out there that test us and don't want to give us or talk about everything. So that's a reminder, ask the question. Now, one of the best places that we can go is our current book of business. Contracts are coming out of surrender, goals change, but why do we not do this? A big thing is because it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of time on our plate, right? We have to re-educate ourselves on how the contracts work. We have to be able to re-educate the clients. If it's an income generating product, we need to call into the insurance company, the carrier, and find out what's the income now, what's the income in 5 years, what if I wait 10 years, what do the bells and whistles on the contract look like, how much do they cost, does the client still need them, and how do those goals evolve over time. It really is labor intensive for you, and it's time consuming, and you know it and you feel it, and so sometimes we put it on the back burner and we think about, we'll take care of it when we need to, when that contract end date is here. But sometimes what that does is it puts us in a rush scenario. And when you're in a rush scenario, you're putting out the fire, you're trying to get everything, or an assistant is trying to compile everything right before a client meeting, you don't always find the best solution that's most beneficial for you and for the client. So there's a few things that I want to talk with you about today to make that process easier, shorten the sales process for you, because it really is a new sell, right? And then also that's the most rewarding for you. So first and foremost, solutions number one is IAMS support. Go to IAMS. Call your IAMS sales support and talk to them about the contract that you have coming up. If the contracts are with IAMS, they can go back there and run a report for you and let you know what is coming down the pipe. That way you can start preparing earlier rather than later. Now, I talked about a lot of times these are new sales. It's very important to approach this as a new sale opportunity, because it is, right? If you can get in front of the client and start that conversation earlier versus when it becomes a fire, it will shorten that conversation and that sales process up for you. Now, that's where the IAMS Enforced Policy Management Report will really help you. Look ahead 6 months, see what's going to be coming, and then start working those conversations. Even if you have an assistant, make that initial outreach, send a warm email. It doesn't always have to be a phone call or a meeting, but get that communication, that drip started sooner rather than when it needs to take place. Now, the reason why I say it feels like a new sell, your client's been trucking along in this contract 5, 7, 10 years. There's some out there for 12 years, right? In their mind, this is taken care of. I don't need to do anything. And just like we as advisors get complacent at times, clients get the same train of thought. And so they're trucking along. I don't need to do anything. This is taken care of. So you need to do something to really grab their attention and get them primed for a new opportunity and a new contract. So that's why I say when you start talking about options to fit their client needs, it needs to be something, number one, eye-catching, that's going to grab their attention, that's going to push them out of that complacent kind of frame of mind. And then number two, solving a problem. When I coach advisors, and I do a lot of coaching on sales practices, branding, product placement, when I coach advisors, I talk a lot about solving a problem. And we're going to set this up for you today. You need to be able to identify what the problem is that you're solving for the client. It needs to be a problem that that client feels they want it to be taken care of. You need to step in with a solution and make sure they understand that you're the person that can alleviate that stress, the anxiety that that problem is causing them, okay? So we'll talk about that, focusing on the client needs and what the problems associated with those needs are. And the other thing that I really stress is focus on a desired lifestyle and with your clients as you're talking about retirement planning. What we have done as an industry for years and years and years, first it was all about accumulation, right? Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Well, now we had so many baby boomers in retirement, we were forced to talk about income and maximizing income. But now what I want you to start thinking about, is how do you take that income to secure a lifestyle? They need the income to secure the lifestyle, but when you start talking about a desired lifestyle for a retiree, what that brings into the picture and the conversation is a visual for your client. They know what they want in retirement. They want to travel. They want to spend time with their grandkids. They want to do book clubs and spend time at church and trying to be in the community more. They know what they want to do, but you need to remind them that you need to be able to secure that lifestyle that's so important to you. You do that through income streams, but when you bring it back to something that they're dreaming of, it pulls on heartstrings, and that's what moves your sales process forward. Pulling on heartstrings are those feelings associated with the visual of their desired retirement lifestyle. It's not manipulative. It is just reminding them of what they're working for and why they need you to help them obtain and keep that lifestyle. And then lastly, the solution is a partner that's easy to do business with. This is especially important when you're talking about transfers, 1035, qualified. When you're talking about transfer type of processes, you really do need a partner in the business that's there to support you and is easy to do these type of transactions with. So let's talk about that solution. Number one is focusing on clients that have conservative needs. So what's the client profile? What do these individuals look like that are very conservative? These individuals, they're sitting on the sidelines. They're your people who are looking, and I think of them as the individuals, if you're at the kids' soccer game, they have all those seats along the side, and they're watching the game. They're not jumping in there, but they're just watching from afar. That's what I think of conservative clients that aren't ready to make a move. They're not happy. They don't like their savings accounts, money markets, very unhappy with CDs, but they're scared, right? They're moving into retirement. They know in the back of their mind, I need to be doing more. I need to be doing more than this minimal interest rate I'm getting. I need to be able to keep some guarantees, but it's ridiculous having all of this money in shorter term investments and cash. They want more guarantees. They want more return potential, but FIA scare them. That's too big of a leap. So that is your conservative client who isn't ready to mimic the market. They may never get there, but they know they need to keep up with inflation. NYGA Plus is your solution that is going to be the eye catcher. It is going to get them out of that place of complacency and just settling. I say that because look at the rates that we have right now. A 3-year is 6.05, a 5-year 6.45, a 7-year 6.25. Very strong rates that are guaranteed for 3, 5, or 7 years. Now, for this special. The dollars need to be in the application, needs to be in by October 31st. All funds need to be received by December 15th. So you have some time. I want to make sure you're aware of the rate special. We've gotten a lot of good interest in this. I want you to know it's out there. So let's talk a little bit more about how that MYGA Plus operates and how you can explain how this works to your client who is coming to a point to where they need some big eye-catching movement. They're either transferring from another contract, or think of those people on the sidelines too who need the guarantees, and this could be a way for you really to push them into the game. Issue ages 0 to 85 for 3 and 5 year, 80 for our 7-year contract. Contract minimum at 10,000, which I love. I think that's very attainable. What I will also show you here is on the right-hand side, you're going to see different rates depending on high band or low band. High band is 100,000 plus. Low band obviously is under that. We do have simple interest. So the simple interest is 605, 645, and 625. The compound equivalent is in parentheses for easy comparison for you. Now, the way the contract works, you see that there's a guaranteed rate in the fixed option for 3, 5, or 7 years. You're also going to see there's an index-linked option. The client can either choose for this to be a strict MYGA contract for that length of time. They also have the ability to allocate to the index bucket. Whatever they allocate to the index bucket will get that higher rate that you see on the screen when the contract, when the S&P returns a positive, the slightest positive from contract year to contract year. A 0.01% positive return in the S&P will get the client 7.6% on that 3-year. Now, we did the calculations because people are asking, going back to the 1920s to currently, 76% of the time, the S&P would have returned a positive result.
That's crazy, Megan. I just got a comment. I think we're just seeing the cover page on your presentation on those numbers. Is there a way you can move? I'm wondering if, maybe just on that other screen.
Oh, I apologize. Yep.
Oh, no.
Go ahead. Okay, let's try this. Are you seeing now an MYG overview slide?
Take a look here. It is possible that it is not. It's not showing it to me, but I tell you what, would these be slides that we could send out to the audience when we're done?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Okay, just in case it's not showing up on your screen, let's do that. And Megan, if you just want to continue considering that it's, oh, I just got them. Actually, I'm seeing them now on the screen. So, okay continue on. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it did say if they're paused for some reason, so I apologize. So let's take a look at that again. You're going to see in the fixed interest option, high band, 605, 645, 625 for 3, 5, or 7 years. And then over in the index linked option, you're going to see the higher 7.6, 8, 7.6. The reason why it's called MYGA Plus is you get the option to allocate to that index linked bucket up to 50%. Anytime there's the slightest increase in the S&P, your client's going to get the higher rate to dollars allocated to that bucket. I wanted to be sure to repeat that because this is something only available for Ibexis. I will tell you, Ibexis is a disruptor in the industry from what we're doing from behind the scenes from a company perspective and the products that we're creating. So this is one of those differences in product that you can only get with Ibexis. But again, the problem that it solves, number one, is clients who have become complacent with current contracts. It solves for the individuals who are afraid to make a move. These are very compelling rates with guarantees associated with MYGs and guaranteed annuity contracts, right? So a lot of stories can be told around this. If they just want the fixed options, they can do that as well. I like to make it super simple. So here's some highlights. For the MYGA Plus, I love bullet points. Number one, industry leading rates. If you get business in by the end of October, then you get the special. We are not changing rates between now and the end of October, so those rates are locked in. You have a strong partner. We have an A- rating. Upside potential with index-linked options. Think of it from the flip side too. You're not only solving for those individuals who are sitting on the sidelines or have traditional annuities, MYGAs currently. Think about the individuals on the flip side who currently have fixed indexed annuities, but maybe they're getting older and they really should move from an FIA to more of a MYGA plus scenario. But these are your CPAs, these are your engineers, these are your people, the day individuals who, as a hobby, they're looking at their returns in retirement. This could be a baby step backwards into more guarantees where they still are able to mimic the market. So don't lose track of those folks either. Liquidity options at no charge. I want to talk about this. So I'm going to go back a slide. I talked about MYGA Plus being simple interest, and in parentheses is your compound equivalent yield, okay? So what's different? Why would you want to do simple versus compound? Let's just say at the end of 5 years, whether you have 6.5 simple or 5.75, if you put 100,000 in the contract, at the end of the 5 years, the accumulation value is going to be the exact same between those percentages, right? You end up at the same point. What's different is what happens in the years before that, between issue and end of contract period. Because the simple interest is starting out at such a higher interest rate, it's building that accumulation value faster. The simple and compound do not catch up until at the end of that contract period, 3, 5, or 7 years. So the importance of knowing that, if there is a death that happens during that contract period, if withdrawals need to be taken, the beneficiary is going to get a higher death benefit. The owner is going to get a higher income amount because the accumulation value is higher throughout. So that's the benefit of simple versus compound interest. Now, what is happening, I don't think my personal philosophy is you don't charge extra for death benefit. Liquidity options are expensive in pricing of contracts, but they should be there, right? What's happening with more and more MYGAs out there is you're seeing companies charge for that. We don't charge for death benefit, and we don't charge for any of those liquidity options. So with MYGA Plus, industry leading rate, A- rating, you get the additional upside potential with the index linked option, and then the liquidity options at no charge. That's MYGA Plus. Solution number 2, let's talk about those clients that are reward focused. They're growth minded, and I put reward on there. Yes, it's return minded, but reward focused to me is I'm going to go into this product. There's some different bells and whistles on it. I'm doing it because I want the rewards that it gives me. And here we're going to talk about rewards being a lot of additional flexibility and optionality included. So that reward-focused person is growth-minded. they're either nearing or entering retirement. Principal protection is very important, but they're nervous that MIGAs aren't going to give them what they need to keep up with inflation. And notice here I put regular MIGAs. MIGAs Plus has additional inflation protection with that index linked bucket. So I'm not including that when I say regular MIGAs. And then also, that person who likes to be in control and have flexibility to react to changes in the market. This is a fixed index annuity at the end of the day, so they're not actively in the market, but again, that control and that flexibility is huge, and you know who those clients are. They're the ones that you have a hard time with getting them into a longer term product that really has no flexibility or optionality for them. The FIA Plus is the solution for that reward-minded client. It comes in a 5, 7, and 10-year contract period. The 5 is brand new. We introduced that to the market last week, and it is getting a huge amount of interest. I'm going to show you why. $25,000 for both qualified and non-qualified dollars. Free withdrawals starting in the second contract anniversary with great state approvals. Now, let me tell you why it's getting such interest. This is our current rate sheet. I am going to create a very simple sale for you that, again, is going to be an eye catcher. Look at the 0% floor. So that's the S&P annual point-to-point cap that you're used to talking about day in and day out. It's a 12.25% cap for 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years. That 12.25 is definitely industry leading. For the 5-year to come out at 12.25 is huge. So we also talked about, when discussing solutions, how do we make it mutually beneficial for you as well? We have a compensation program, and this is in addition to what IMES is doing. This is for FIA Plus production through the end of the year, which includes the 5-year contract that we just introduced. For your first piece of business, you get an additional 50 basis points on that. So you're going to either get 5.5 for the 5 and 7 year, or you're going to get the 7 for the 10-year contract right off the bat. The additional compensation is paid on a quarterly basis. And the other thing that's really strong is, as you get up tiers, we actually look back and pay retroactive. So what that means, as you start, you get the 50 basis points. As you move up to the 3 million tier, you get an extra 25 basis points. At that point in time, we're going to look back at that 2.99 you did previously and retroactively pay you that 25 basis points in addition. So great rate, industry leading rate for your clients, and incredibly strong compensation for you. So let's talk about the positioning. Keep it super simple here. You don't need to make it complex. Industry leading rate, 12.25, with a strategy that you're used to talking about. A- ratings, strong compensation, and then the flexibility to discuss additional growth potential at review time with no charge. No charge. And some of that flexibility at annual review, you can stay as is. You can reallocate between the indexes. If you want to take on some additional growth potential, you can put some of your returns at risk or additional par rates or cap rates. And if you don't want to do that, you can always lock in gains. All of this flexibility and great conversation to have with your clients at annual review time at no additional charge. Reiterate, keep it simple. I love it because it's simple for those monies that you're trying to transfer over. 12.25, Strong partner, strong comp, flexibility is included. Let's review the solutions. We talked about IAM support. They are your go-to for the in-force policy management support. Start the conversation earlier rather than when you need to have the conversation. Get the client primed, get them ready and used to the idea of moving to a different contract based on their evolving needs and goals. And then eye-catching and beneficial for the client and for you is the Ibexis MYGA Plus and the FIA Plus. Now, lastly, let's talk about a partner that's easy to do business with. I want to make sure that you know the Ibexis story. Ibexis was originally formed in 1937 under the name Sunset Life. In 1975, Kansas City Life acquired Sunset Life, and they operated under the Kansas City Life name for many years. In 2021, Investicorp purchased the Sunset Life name, which is very important. We purchased the name and rebranded last year to Ibexis Life and Annuity, where we launched the MYGA Plus and the FIA Plus. Our talking points for Ibexis. Number one, innovative and competitive products. As I talked about, we are very happy to be a disruptor in the space. We are creating products that look different than traditional fixed or fixed index annuity contracts. We are focused on accumulation. We want to be leaders in that accumulation space, but we want to do things differently. We are a minus right out of the gate, which is incredible for a newly re-energized, rebranded insurance company. We have exclusive limited distribution. Only a handful of marketing partners, such as IAM, have access to our partners, and we're very easy to do business with. I want to talk about this because this is important for you. We are 100% digital applications, 100% Firelight, as Justin had mentioned. That's important because it keeps costs down, it keeps NIGOs down, it gets our business processed faster, it gets you paid faster. And all of that goes back into our competitive products and how we can get some of those rates. All collateral is available on our website without login. That's to make it easy for you to sell our products. What I would call an advisor one-pager, a client brochure, rate sheets, hypotheticals, editorial videos, white papers, all available on the website, easy for you to grab. Another reason why we don't do a lot of printing and sending off, if you have a need, we can definitely do that. But keeping printed materials down and focusing on digital keeps our internal costs down. We put that back into rates and comp for you guys. I'm going to come back to our client compliance standard and communication because that's key in the conversation we're having today. And then the advisor and client portal, we continue to revise and revamp that and have received incredible feedback from the field on that. And then a responsive team. This is huge. This is huge. I know how important it is for IAMs to be able to pick up the phone, for our advisors to be able to pick up the phone and get a hold of somebody. So the responsiveness is something that we take very close to heart. And as we build out our processes and systems internally, that's an area that we're focused on. We want strong customer service. So if any point in time you feel as though you're not getting that, I want to know about it. We want to know about it. So I want to get back to the suitability guidelines. You know, before I move off the space, I want to slide, excuse me, now that you guys can see it, I want to talk about that disruptor. We do things differently, and this is something I am very excited about. Back in the day, several years ago, I helped Athene get up and going. And it was exciting then at that point in time because equity was put into an insurance company as it had never been done before. Now it's a bit of a norm, right? What's so exciting about what we're doing here with Ibexis is it's evolving even more. It's how can we stretch the accumulation story and do things differently? How can we operate differently and be forward focused? Everything's going digital. We have the ability to do that right off the bat. It's exciting. The reason why we have the ability is we were able to start with systems from scratch. Typically, when a company grows like this, it grows through acquisition. And what happens is that insurance company gets bogged down with, number one, duplicative resources and products, but also systems. Integrating all the back systems takes years, and that is reflective in rates, in comps. It has to be, because it's bringing down the cost, right? It's bringing down what the company can turn in new dollars, new rates, new comps for our producers and advisors. So since we're starting fresh, we were able to start with that 100% digital and a great base systems to work with. You're also going to see and feel that in our suitability guidelines. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So we will look at accumulation to accumulation replacements. We're willing to take up to an 8% loss if the FIA plus cap is double the current cap. So, i.e. what we're seeing today, that 12.25%, if the client has a cap of 6.125 or less with current rates, then we're good with that. No requirement for length of time in the current contract. With a letter of explanation, which I have found most advisors are very willing to write. With a brief letter of explanation, we will look at death benefit values and income account values. We will have a conversation with you to fully discuss that sales scenario and the pros and the cons and what a move means like for a client. We are not afraid to pick up the phone and speak with the field on compliance and suitability guidelines. Full comp on large cases over 1.5. If you have a scenario, so what we do is not any different than any other carrier out there. We look at all cases under contract ownership to see if it meets 1.5 million. Typically, there's a pretty stringent cap out there of 1.5. Talk with us about it. We'll have a one-on-one conversation, see what we can do. If there is anything placed over that, full comp, which is amazing. And then automated suitability to make it even easier for you is going to be rolling out early December of 2023. So how do we do it? I talked about a few of these already. How do we get those rates? This is advisors in my initial conversations and conference work were asking me if we were buying the business. No. We are not buying business, but the question is, how do you get these rates, right? Well, number one, everything I've talked about before, new software platforms, no old ones that have to be consolidated, that cost the company a huge amount of money, that's then reflective in rates and comp. We don't have that. Started from fresh, streamlined operational functionality, and that goes to 100% digital, right? The impact of distressed assets. One of the reasons why I really wanted to stress when I was showing you the history of Ibexis is we purchased the name of Sunset Life and rebranded it. We did not purchase the old book of assets. That can really bring a company down. When companies acquire other companies and that book of business that just keeps growing, you think it could be a great thing, except if it's bad business. If it's mispriced business, that's going to ultimately affect rates and also comp to you. And I can't tell you how much it does impact. So by us not purchasing that and starting fresh, it's given us the ability to really hit the marketplace strong. And then low overhead investments in partnerships and platforms. This is something that we keep in mind whenever a relationship is created or a partnership, or as we build out technology, we always think about how can we operate efficiently. Tools to help you sell, because it's important to make it easy for you, right? So there's a few things that we have available right now for you. If you would like to promote the NYGA, you can personalize that. A flyer is shown on the screen. You can either find the 3, 5, or 7-year contract, let your marketing team at IAMS know, and I can make sure to have that personalized in their hands. We also have an ad. If you have the ability to do a digital newsletter, if you send out emails to your clients on a regular basis, we can give you the October rate special and personalize that for you as well. If you would like that, you could put any of this in your signature line as well, right? Just think of it as a snippet, grab it, put it in an email, or put it in social media as well. For the FIA Plus, we have social media posts as well as the ads that you see here, both personalized. Okay, let's go ahead and review. So how can you serve your clients and earn a competitive compensation? Focus on meeting the needs and solving the problems. If you can meet needs and solve problems for your client, you're creating loyalty, right? And you're doing that because at the end of the day, all of it is to the goal of securing the retirement lifestyle, securing what they have worked so hard to accumulate and earn over the years. So you can do that with the MIGA Plus or the FIA Plus. Both have eye-catching industry-leading rates, A- strategic partner, and strong compensation for both. And a company that's easy to do business with. Your clients will definitely be appreciative of that. But when the rubber hits the road, you know what that means to have a company that's easy to do business with and responsive. So we have innovative and competitive products, strong ratings, exclusive limited distribution for you. And I did put on the screen the additional compensation that's available to you in addition to what IAMS is providing through now and the end of the year. Okay, so with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back to you, Justin. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with the audio.
That here as well, and we'll make sure Duncan or the rest of the team, one of the members of the other members of our investment management team, reach out to you here, answer any questions you may have about IAMS Wealth Management. And as always, if that comes up later, just give us a call here at IAMS, 800-255-5055. Appreciate everybody's responses and attendance today. Look forward to connecting with you as we move forward throughout the week. And Megan, as always, appreciate it. And we'll be talking soon. Thanks, everyone.